Fernando did it. Walk off. Padres win 6-5 there in 10 innings. Man, that was fun to watch. You walk the guy in front to get to Fernando. I know it's Luis Ariz, and in that situation, if you're the Tigers, it's like, yeah, probably don't want to pitch with the runner in scoring position. Merrill, by the way, probably don't want to pitch to him when he's a contact guy. Even if it's a pitch outside the strike zone, he can still swing and put it into a hole, and you can win the game. Maybe we can get Tatis to strike out, but that's a couple times already this season where the Padres walk it off. And thankfully, because the other team decides to walk Ariz both times, right? Because Ariz was walked. Profar then got the walk off against the Nats. Ariz is walked here, and Tatis gets the walk off against the Detroit Tigers, down 5-0 at one point in this game. Darvish, he obviously comes back, and he did not go as deep as I wanted him to, as deep as I thought he was going to. He didn't throw as many pitches as I thought he was going to. He ended up going 2 2/3. How many pitches here? He threw 63 pitches. I thought it was going to be more around 80 because he threw 66 in that live session that he had in Arizona. But man, look how many pitchers the Padres used today. Darvish, Matsui, Peralta, Morejon, Scott, Adams, Suarez, Estrada. Talk about a team effort, right? First two guys, they get 5 runs, but then nothing after that. That's 6 guys that covered the rest of the game to not give up any runs. That's a heck of a job by the bullpen. One heck of a job. Jeremiah Estrada, a little bit wild. I thought he was trying to throw too hard there, a little amped up, but he was able to get through that 10th inning there to set this up. Jackson Merrill had himself one heck of a game. Obviously, we can talk about Rookie of the Year. I don't want to talk about that, to be honest, because I'm tired of talking about it. I feel like that race is over, and what Jackson cares about the most is winning, and boy, did he help this Padres team win. I mean, that's what I care about most. That's what you guys care about most. And so if the award happens, it happens, whatever. But Jackson will continue to keep helping this Padres team win, and he's doing it pretty much on a nightly basis. It was surprising when he didn't get a hit there in that 9th inning when he got jammed on that inside fastball. But he has the homer there in the 4th. Now, he has the rookie Padres record for runs driven in. It was Benito, I believe, and now it's Merrill with over 80 runs driven in this season. And he has 22 homers on the year. And then later in the game, he comes through with a double, and that kept the Padres from just winning it in regulation. You know, there were a couple spots in this game where it was like, man, they were so close to just winning it there in 9 innings and not even having to go 10 innings. How about when David Peralta falls on his rear end on the ball by Ariz? He froze because it was a liner, and then he's getting back to second, I think, and then he tumbles there, falls on his backside, and the Padres, he gets to third, by the way, in that inning, but then Manny hits a rocket at the right fielder, and Manny, by the way, with an RBI hit that tied the game there. So great job from him. I didn't like earlier in the at-bat. I thought he expanded the zone a little bit too much, but that's easy for me to say sitting here and not being in the batter's box. But doesn't matter. He comes through. Liner to right field in that situation. And then there was the ground rule double by Merrill that doesn't bring in Bogarts, and the Padres can't score in that situation later in that inning. It was just like, man, Ariz, I think it was Ariz, or was it Solano? Solano pinch hits late in this game. I think it was Ariz. He had the grounder to short, and the Tigers were able to get out of that inning when they had, I think, the bases loaded. So it was just like, they're knocking on the door. They're knocking on the door. They're going to knock that door through they're going to go through that door at some point, right? They're going to. Just this pitching, keep it tied, keep it here. Eventually they're, the Padres in extra innings, this is part of the Padres' strong suit with the bullpen, right? With the depth. I will take the Padres bullpen when the games go deeper and deeper and deeper over any team in baseball. And I'm biased, sure, but I think even unbiased fans of baseball would probably do it as well. Like, no doubt about it. Yeah, that Vest guy had some nasty pitches, but I'm going to take the Padres bullpen as that game gets deeper. And especially when they're knocking on the door, like I just mentioned, with all those opportunities, they're going to come through at some point. And getting into that 10th inning there, where, again, Merrill's on second base because he gets out there at the end of the 9th inning. So he's obviously the runner there at second base. And obviously, you see the top of the order coming up. Mason McCoy strikes out looking, I believe. Crony, yeah, not the best day, at least in like the late situations for him there. Merrill was hitting 7th, by the way, in this lineup. But bottom 10, Diaz first pitch grounds out. McCoy strikes out looking. And the Tigers, so they have 2 outs in the inning. And instead of pitching to Luis Ariz, they go to Fernando. I mean, I understand the logic a little bit because, again, like I mentioned earlier, you don't want to pitch to the bat-to-ball guy. Maybe you can get Tatis to pop up. He gets anxious. He swings first pitch. Or you can get Tatis to strike out because Ariz doesn't strike out a lot, right? But, man, these guys, it seems like they go into a different gear or they get more motivated or something, more locked in maybe, when they see the opponent say, I want to pitch to you. That's what they did. They said, I want to pitch to you, Fernando. And Fernando's like, all right, game over. You wanted that? All right. And I love how he let all of his emotion out, right? That's been bottled up, it feels like. And we know how fun of a player Fernando is to watch, right? He's one of the, if not the most fun player in baseball, right? You know, Merrill's up there, right? But, and there's other guys that are really talented and fun to watch. But as a Padres fan, when Fernando's doing Fernando things, he's just so freaking fun to watch. And so for him to let that out, he had been out for a while, obviously, right? With the injury, just sitting there rooting on his team. And sure, you saw some celebrating there when Fernando was on the bench, but him being able to actually help the team, right? He came back the other day, has the day off. He didn't really provide an impact in that other game, that first game that he came back. For him to win the game here and for him to feel, probably for the first time since maybe that Cubs big comeback, that there's probably other games that I'm forgetting about. But for him to finally feel, after a long time of not being able to help his team, to feel like, yeah, I really helped my team win and bring joy to this fan base. You could tell he just loves playing the game. He loves being in there with his teammates. He loves being on that field. And yeah, this goes down as another game of the year candidate. It's probably not for me, but like they were down 5-0. Darvish didn't go deep in this game. They had to use like their whole bullpen essentially. And I know it's not the Dodgers that they came back against or the Phillies or something, but come back down 5-0. And, you know, I guess there were people on social media that was saying it was game over when they were down 5-0. You have not watched this team close enough if you actually thought that this game was over. When you're facing the Tigers and you're at home, you're down 5-0. You can come back from that. The talent that is in this lineup, the bullpen that can shut down the other team, come on. Padres fans, true Padres fans, you should not be giving up when you're down 5-0 early in a game with this Padres team. Last year, okay, different story. This year, it's totally different. You should not be giving up. They were down 8-0 at one point in a game late this season and came back. This is something that's going to serve the Padres well come postseason time because they're not going to be leading in every inning of the postseason. As much as I'd like that to happen, it's probably not going to happen. And so they have that fight. They've been doing it all season long. It's not some switch that they're going to have to turn on. They've been doing it all year long. And this was just another one of those. And they got a series win against the Tigers already, and they can go for the sweep tomorrow. What a night. What an ending. I'm so happy for Fernando right there.